Basically, and what I do is I basically don't get intimidated, and I don't pay them a penny, which is great. And it's really simple. And I realise I'm preaching to the converted here because, I mean, for me to come here and talk to people, I mean, there are people out here that know way more than I do. But I've just used very simple process to actually deal with these frauds. But anyway, the way I got into it, I think it was about 2001. I sold my business, and I sort of didn't sort of write a contract or anything. I thought, oh, I'll sell it to a mate, and keeping it brief, I didn't get paid, and so I ended up in a shed loads of debt. And I keep getting these debt collectors. I went to Citizens Advice, and they're very good. They offer a great service, but of course you have to pay it. And through no fault of my own, or my stupidity, whatever, I was in debt, and I knew nothing about what I've sort of found out now. But after a while, of course, I started getting letters from debt collectors, and to be honest, it actually filled me with fear, because I just got married at the time. And I was thinking, oh my God, we're going to have bailiffs round, and so I was feeling a little bit intimidated by this. But one thing I did know is that life is an illusion, and we create it with our own thoughts and intentions. So I thought, right, I'm not going to get too feared up by this. But what I did, I started getting these letters from various debt collectors. And one minute it was like £5,000 they're chasing me for, and the next moment it's like £10,000. And I thought, this is funny. And I phoned one of them up and said, look, it's suddenly gone from 5 to 10. Can you explain this? And he said, well, how about if we make it 7.5? And I thought, hang on, no, this is something. I sort of smelt a rat. And I thought, no, actually, no. What I want a complete breakdown of every penny that you say you owe me. And it was only later on I actually got onto Robert Menard's site and actually started realising what was going on. I then watched a brilliant little video called Money is Debt. Has anyone seen that? Yeah. Money is Debt. I mean, you don't need to know any more than that. You don't need to know, people ask me if I've got sort of, because I do talks on money as well. Ask me if I've got a sort of degree in economics. No, what I understand about economics, I could explain to a 10-year-old child. And it's only when you start getting complicated, that's when you can't see the bigger picture. It's all really, really simple. But anyway, I'll go on. So that's the website that I do to help people getting out of debt, because, and the reason we use the little guy jumping out the cage is because that was on the Monopoly. That was the get out of jail free card, wasn't it? So I based the website on getting out of debt free, because all you need, I've got some cards as well, which you can actually use straight away, or you can wait until you actually need it. What's that? Wait till you need to use them. How much interest is on the card? Yeah. 30% APR. Okay, and what I say is, obviously don't believe anything I say. I'm like everyone else, I'm just a student. And we're all, the great thing about us all coming here together is that we can all help each other. We've all got little bits of the jigsaw. So it's my hope, what I say isn't the truth. If the truth isn't told, it's realised. Suddenly when you see the truth, it suddenly makes sense. And it suddenly sort of springs up. And once you know the truth, then it's very difficult for people to then lie to you and cover that truth up. And that's why the truth is spreading very, very quickly at the moment. And Dr. Wayne Dyer, who's he's brilliant sort of teacher, he says the ultimate ignorance is the rejection of something you know nothing about and refuse to investigate. Yeah. Okay, so Monopoly is still world's #1 board game. Sorry about that, that's a bit loud. That woke everyone up after lunch, didn't it? Okay. What I do with the website and my understanding of this whole game, I like things really, really simple. And when you look at a game of Monopoly, you realise that what's going on in world commerce is basically, it's all down to Monopoly game. So if you look at the rules of Monopoly, and how to win by understanding the rules. I'm going to get done for copyright for all this stuff. It's all on the internet as well. So first thing you're going to realise, it's just a game. Okay, so if you start losing the game, if you think you're losing the game, there's no point getting upset by it. I know people that actually get upset when they're actually playing Monopoly, but you've got to realise it's just a game. You know, it's like, as you say, you know, you can't win, you can't lose. Right, you need a token to play the game, and I'm sure everyone here knows what that token is. The currency used is just totally worthless paper. Oh, and the other thing, if you actually go through, because what I did yesterday when I suddenly thought, right, I better tidy up this little PowerPoint presentation, I went through the rules of Monopoly, and one of the rules is the bank never goes broke. I thought, that's interesting. That's very interesting. And the object of the game is to bankrupt all opponents. They've changed that in the later rules, but if you go into the early rules, that was the object. Now it's to sort of, you know, get the most money. It's the same thing, isn't it? If you try and take all the world's resources, like the Rothschilds and, you know, other various banking families, everyone else is going to go broke. But only in the game, of course, not really. And to win, you need to know all the rules. So all I'm going to do is explain some of the ways that I understand this and some of the ways that I've actually been dealing with debt collectors and county court judgments and things like that. And as I say, once the fee is gone, it's great fun because you can have real good fun with it. It's great fun. Right, to remember it's just a game. Their plan is to take you for every penny you've got. And they seem to do this quite successfully. And it's not just the banks, it's all the corporations, as you know. You know. And we saw this was actually yesterday. I've actually highlighted that. That was yesterday, Friday the 6th of November. Personal insolvency rises by 28%. A record number of people were declared insolvent in England and Wales in the third quarter of 2009. So it does actually look like these guys are, you know, trying to win the game. But of course, yeah, when everyone goes out and tells everyone that no, it's just a game and you don't have to play it. Okay. Now, token to play the game of Monopoly. Just like, it's only Twister where you actually get on the board and play it yourself. Most other games, you actually need a token of some sort. My favourite is the racing car. Now, I'm sure everyone here knows what the token is to actually play the global commerce game.
Birth certificate.
Birth certificate, yeah, it's a birth certificate. It's what they create when they create the birth certificate, isn't it? It's your legal fictional entity. So normally I sort of say to everyone, get your credit cards out, and we look. And some people are really surprised that all their names are in uppercase on the credit card. Or if it's not, it always says Mr, doesn't it? If it's in lowercase, it says Mr. or Mrs. or Miss or whatever. Yeah, that's your connection to this legal fiction, which we all know about. So I don't really have to, you know, talk too much about that. If anyone's got any questions or anything, do sort of like to say, because you know, if I say something that you don't think's right, you know, please shout out. Yeah.
What's the whole reading then with uppercase names?
Uppercase names, right.
I've heard a lot about this, and I can feel there's so much conflicting information out there. I don't know.
There is lots of conflicting information, but at the end of the day, what it is, to be in commerce with a corporation, you can't contract with them as a living, breathing human being. So, as somebody said over here, what happens is you're registered, and to register is to hand title to the Crown. And the Crown, in my understanding, certainly isn't the Queen of England. It's actually, in my understanding, it's the corporations, the City of London. So, you know, that's the Crown. So they have to create a fictional entity, which is your little token, because you can't fit in the board in their game. So they have to, and they can't contract with you. So they have to create this uppercase person, a legal person, which is created when your parents register you, which is handing your title over to the Crown, and they create this fictional entity, they also create a bond, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. Say again, sorry? That's right, yes, yes. I think in the Bills of Exchange Act it says that, you know, a corporation, you know, to contract, it must be with another corporation.